How to know what matters most in life. How do you know what is the most important thing? It's not about where you go and what you do. It's about who you are and what you carry. What matters most in life is who you're becoming. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how you can think about who you're becoming. This is the Lifecraft Co channel. When trying to work out what matters most in life, we can get a little bit lost, and the older you get, the more you seem to reflect on the things that matter most. And so when you're in your 20s and 30s, and I'm in my mid 30s, early 30s, you can focus more on career and what you've achieved and what you've gathered in life. But the more people I've spoken to towards the end of their life, the more people I've sat with on their deathbed and asked those deep, tough questions, the more they say things like, it's the people I had an impact on, or it's the people that had an impact on me in life that matters most. So this has really led me to a place of being values driven, that actually my life shouldn't be about what I achieve, but it should be about who I'm becoming. And so I want to talk about how you can be values driven in life. So there's two things that can matter most to you. One is valuables and one is values. If you're valuables driven, you chase after shiny things, you chase after the nice car, the nice job, and it's not necessarily wrong to have those things. But when you're values driven, you chase after substance, you chase after character, and you chase after meaning. And I don't think I have to argue hard for people to realize that those matter most, that those are the most important things, that the substance of your character, the substance of your personhood really matters. Like who you are to your friends, who you are to your family, your wife, your partner, whoever. That's really the most significant thing. You can have all of the riches in the world but still be extremely miserable. The Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money is evil, but the love of it, the desire and value of that more than anything else will lead you to a really bad place. So actually, what can you put at the center of your life to make it more meaningful? Outside of faith, I'd suggest it's things like family and relationships, but it's up to you to come up with your own values. My personal values are His ACE, which stands for honor, influence, service, attitude, challenge, and excellence, and they mean different things to me. Honor is a way I measure my approach towards people. So if I'm a person of honor, even with people I disagree with or don't get along with, I want to make sure that I'm honorable towards them, that I show a level of respect, that I'm not easily emotionally disturbed by them. Influence, that I seek to be a positive influence in my life. Service, that I find ways to serve other, that my life wants to amount to contributing value to other people. Attitude, that I have a good attitude about me in everything that I do. Challenge, that I look for injustice and I find ways to speak up against it, that I won't be somebody that looks the other way and does nothing. And excellence, which basically means doing the very best I possibly can. Those values determine what I do and do not do in life. They'll determine a yes and a no for opportunities that come along. Like so often we take every little thing that comes our way and find ourselves on a path perhaps we didn't want to be on. But if you have got values, they act as a perimeter or a boundary for your life. So you can decide, yes, I want to do this, or no, I don't want to do this, or that doesn't fit with my values, that doesn't fit with what matters most to me in life. So I came up with 4 things that really helped me determine my values. The first one is listen to fear. And often you can think, well, I don't really want to embrace fear. I don't want to sit and think about the things that make me feel afraid. But often the things that make you feel fearful, they make you feel that way because they matter to you, or they've touched something that's significant or important to you. And I'm not talking about phobias, but I'm talking about certain anxieties in life. Like if you're fearful about losing someone, normally that's a strong indicator that that person really matters to you. It makes sense when you think about it. Imagine you've just bought a new car. I don't know why you would, but if you bought, I don't know, the car of your dreams, you saved up and that's where you decided to put your money for some reason. Now forgetting you've just lost 5% value as you've driven it from brand new car garage, and you've got this brand new car, you're really precious in those first couple of weeks because it matters to you, because you value it, and you might even be worried that somebody might scratch it or somebody might dent it. That's because your interest and your concern is so wrapped up in that new car. You've got a certain level of fear of what could happen to it. And that's where my analogy stops, because actually as time goes on, you get more familiar with your car and you don't mind if it gets bashed about a little bit, or maybe you do, I don't know. But when you sit and listen to those things that you're afraid of, and maybe even start to make a list of them, it'll start to indicate to you what really matters, what's really important in your life. So I came up with my values because I wanted to make sure that I was being an honourable person, that if people felt I wasn't honourable, that wasn't good. There's a certain anxiety about that. Also that I'm not a positive influence, that if I have an effect on somebody's life and it's a negative impact, that's going to bother me. There's a little bit of a healthy fear around those things. So the first thing you can do is listen to fear. The second thing I'd say is focus on substance. Don't make your values something rubbish like getting the house of your dreams or getting the car of your dreams. Again, it's not bad to have those things if you're blessed and privileged enough to get them, but make it of serious substance. And when you get to the end of your life, you'll be saying, I'm really glad I put time into those people. I'm really glad I put time into that thing that mattered. Make it something that will contribute to a good character. Character is built on good personality, on good ambition, on something that contributes to the benefit of others. So make it surrounding those things, being values driven. It doesn't have to be old-fashioned values, doesn't even have to be new values, but something that matters to you but also matters to other people and will benefit and add value to people's lives. Third thing is label those values. Come up with specific words. Use a thesaurus or dictionary or Google and find out exactly what you mean by that word. What does that word mean to you? So one of my values is excellence. Now people think that's about being perfect or doing better than other people. That's not what it's about. It's about personal excellence, and the definition of that word for me is that I'm giving the very best that I can possibly give. And when you label your values, you define your values, you're working out what matters most. That word really drives your decision making. So try and understand what you mean by a particular word. Even write them down. I came up with an acronym because it's easy for me to remember. You might want to do the same thing, something that you can memorize on the go. And when you're in a moral dilemma or when you're in a difficult situation, you can run through, what are my personal values? What would I do if I'm living true to those values? And what might my reaction be if it doesn't fall in line with my values? Finally, I'd say make your values matter in the moment. Don't just put them on a list of paper, hide them in your wallet, your purse, whatever, put them on your phone and forget about them, but actually start to live your life by them. Start to think about some of the decisions you've made recently. Start to think about some of the things you'd like to do in future and ask the question, do they fall in line with my personal values? And if the answer is no, it's very easy to move that thing aside, to sweep it to the left or to the right. That your values act like the white lines on a football pitch, when you can play anywhere within the pitch, but when the ball goes over the line, it's out of play. It's the same thing for decisions that come along in your everyday life. If it's not within those lines, you don't want to play. You don't want to get engaged with whatever it is. Hey, we're starting to write some articles around this thing to throw in some deeper thoughts. When that's written, that'll be down in the description. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. This has been Julian on the Life Graph Code channel. Imagine if I did this in one take, it'd be so much quicker.